Bhagavatam Sammasambuddho Swakatoyena Bhagavata Dhammo Supatipanno Yasa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Dhammayang Bhagavantam Sagaman Sasangham Ime Sakare Yadara Parvopite Abhipujayama Sadhuno Bhante Bhagavan Sujira Parini Bhutopi Pajima Janata Nugamba Manasa Ime Sakare Dugata Banaka Rambuje Patikanatu Amma Kandi Karatam Itaya Sukaya Arang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhan Bhagavantam Abhivadi Swakato Bhagavata Namo Dhammam Namassami Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sangham Namami Namayam Buddhasa Bhagavato Bhagavaganamagarangaro Mase Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So, very nice, very good to see everyone again. So, please now compose yourselves and prepare to sit for the next 55 minutes or so and remain absolutely still during that time. So check that you're sitting up well, nice straight back, head up, body and mind alert. And of course, you close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, you leave behind all that you've been doing this day, all that you've been thinking about, worrying about, everything. You put it all down and you leave it. And you remind yourselves that past is past, it's over, future hasn't come yet. And all we ever really have is right now. So try at least while we're here together this evening to keep your attention here and now. And we commence by bringing to mind the Buddha, reminding ourselves of our great teacher and inspiration, recollecting particularly his perfect mind, a mind that was clear of all defilement, and even more than that, far away, distant from any kind of corruption or greed or hatred or delusion. An incredible being, perfect in knowledge and conduct. A being worthy of our admiration, a being worthy to follow. An inspiration to us all. And remember that when you happen to see a Buddha Rupa or even think of the Buddha, be inspired to do your best to cleanse your mind too of all greed, hatred, and delusion. And free yourselves utterly of all suffering. And remember, as you embark on this quest, to sustain a mind of loving kindness, and especially that mind of loving kindness for yourself. When you see areas of your being that you're not happy with or even ashamed of, remember to be kind to yourself. Be kind, caring of yourself, and appreciate and even rejoice in your good qualities. But still accept yourself. And the same with other people. Try to be kind, try to be caring, try to see their good qualities. We all have them. But still accept them for who and what they are. Now take a moment to be reminded of your nature, the nature of your human condition. It's changing. You are subject to change. You are subject to time and change. And that means that you're getting older. We are all getting older. It's a one-way street. Life hath but one direction, and time's its only measure. And during our brief lifespan, At almost any moment, something can go wrong. We can become unwell, catch something, break something, have an accident. It's a precarious existence. And then whatever you do, however careful you are, however much you eat the right things and exercise and all that, sooner or later, one day, you will die. We all will die. All that lives must die. So let this reminder, let these three messengers, these divine messengers, accelerate your practice. Bring a little intensity to what you're doing this evening. Now gather and concentrate your mind. And to begin, be mindful and aware of your body and how you've arranged your body, how you are sitting. The shape that your body is making, where your arms are, where your legs are. And become aware of your breathing. Notice just where and how you are aware of the breath. Now try to hold your attention just there. So that now you are mindful of each in-breath as it happens, each out-breath as it happens, the whole in-breath, the whole out-breath. And keep your mind concentrated just on that, on being mindful of breathing in, mindful of breathing out, and so on. Remember to make use of any interruptions to your concentration by just attending to them, just observing when you catch yourself thinking or dreaming or listening to something or feeling some ache or pain or discomfort, just as it were, step back, sit back, and observe. Just know that feeling, that hearing, whatever, and let it go. And find the breath again. And again. Try to keep your mind following, being mindful and aware as you breathe in and breathe out. So please keep your very good, very excellent sitting, remaining quite still as you have been. And during the next few minutes, while I'm talking, all you have to do is to listen. That now becomes your practice, keeping your mind stable, but just listening. I suppose it's clear to all of us, all of you, that this business of life is a tricky business. It has its ups and downs. At times, it can be quite painful, and at times, it can be quite enjoyable, and we feel reasonably happy and even contented. It's almost as if we're like a ship at sea, where the sea is often quite calm and our voyage is comfortable, and at times it's not like that. And it's certainly unpredictable and changeable. And on the whole, really and truly, not that comfortable, because even when it is calm, we're all too aware that at any moment a storm can blow up and things will change and life again can be difficult. So if you are a mariner at sea, what do you do? Whenever you have the opportunity, you seek for a refuge. There are times when you desperately need a refuge. You need to be able to take a break from that turbulence and restore yourself, restore your ship. Buddhist people are people who go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. These three jewels are referred to as the three refuges. We find refuge in them. They help us. They give us a chance to take a break from the difficulties of life. and more than that, to find a way of dealing with them and ultimately overcoming them, riding out that storm and finding a peaceful place. The first of these refuges is the Buddha. Now, of course, we don't know a great deal about the Buddha. Some people even wonder if such a person ever existed. In our scriptures, we have various stories, and we have what he taught. And we are told that he had certain qualities. He's described in a number of ways, some of them quite extraordinary, and some of them quite everyday, run-of-the-mill. When we recite, as we do quite often, the qualities of the Buddha, amongst those qualities, we say that he was Arahant. Now, this is a very important term because it means, amongst other things, it means a mind that is not just pure, not just clean, not just developed, but far away, far distant from anything that can spoil it. Now, the Buddha described our minds as essentially pure and clean, even luminous. But then they become spoiled by adventitious defilements. And these make our lives really difficult. And the trouble is that we don't quite understand or see what's causing our difficulty. And we go on making the old mistakes over and over again. But then we have the example of the Buddha, who distanced himself from these problems, these defilements, cleansed his mind. So as I say, almost every time that we meet, when you see the Buddha image, when you think of the Buddha, remember that and do your best to follow in his footsteps and develop your mind too. Cleanse your mind as well. He's a tremendous example for us. And we should hold that and allow ourselves to be inspired by him. And then the second of these three refuges, the second of the jewels, is the Dharma, what the Buddha taught. Again, we recite a number of characteristics of the Dharma. And amongst these, one which is well known and very popular is ehipassiko, inviting you to come and see. Especially people who've been, like myself and several of you, I expect, brought up in some kind of dogmatic faith, where there seems to have been a compulsion. You have to believe. You have to do what you're told. It's amazingly refreshing to come across something which invites you to have a look, to just come and see. You're invited in. You're invited to explore. And you're taught that it's all up to you to find out and discover for yourself. And there's no compulsion. You don't have to do this. Mind you, it's a jolly good idea if you do, and you'll benefit. The third of these three jewels and these three refuges is the Sangha. Now, the Sangha, this word means group or community. And in Buddhist tradition, we think of basically two kinds of Sangha. The Arya Sangha and the conventional or the Bhikkhu Sangha, the representative Sangha. The Arya Sangha means those who have practiced well. This is the first of the characteristics that we chant. And practicing well means that they have attained. They have followed in the footsteps of the Buddha and gone where he led. Now, when I first became involved in Buddhism, one of the first persons who taught me made a great deal of the importance of following the Buddha, being a follower of the Buddha. He used to say to us, "Don't you call yourselves a Buddhist. Call yourselves followers of Gautama." And it's a very important point. I mean, you can't put that down on forms and things. You have to say you're a Buddhist. This is a convention that we can't get away from. But it's much better to think in terms of being a follower of Gautama, a follower of the Buddha, of doing your best to go where he led. When you're a follower, you follow in the footsteps of the person you follow. And that's, of course, what these great ones who have achieved have done. They've practiced well, they've followed in the footsteps of the Buddha. And they're a tremendous example to us. They're proof, too, to us that this can work. It can be done. And that's important to have confidence in. This isn't just, a teaching that someone's dreamed up and thrown out there and there you are, invented, and you can jolly well join up and pay your cash and all that. No. This is something that you can do for yourself and which works and can work for you. And that's a tremendous thing. These three refuges are huge inspirations to us. And we should value them and respect them and love them and do our best to keep them close to us. And when times are difficult, because they are, life, as the Buddha taught, is a life that's uncomfortable. We suffer. We get upset. Things go wrong. Even when they go well, they're still liable to go wrong, and they do. we need a refuge. We need an inspiration. We need help. And there it is, in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So keep them close and be inspired and allow them to help you. Allow them to live with you all the time. And I want to add, at the beginning of these evenings, I also speak to you about being kind, caring, appreciative, and accepting. And these are what I call the 4 aspects of love. They're better known as the Brahma Viharas, as loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. And of course, loving kindness we may have for ourselves and for others. Compassion we usually think of as for others. And mudita, sympathetic joy, again, our concern at being glad at the happiness and welfare of others. And equanimity, which somehow doesn't always, to my mind at least, fit with the rest. But it does when we think of it as acceptance, a mind of equanimity, a stable, unruffled mind is a mind of acceptance. And that is clearly connected to love. So my recommendation is to keep these close to you as well. And especially when you're practicing, and even for yourself, to be kind to yourself and caring of yourself. And it's very, very important to appreciate and take pleasure in, to rejoice in your merits and good qualities. It's so very easy to overlook the fact that everyone, you included, every one of us, have our good points and our potential to be enlightened beings. And rejoice in that. And look for the good in yourself and others. We all know about the rubbish. And we can't avoid it. But let's place our emphasis on drawing out the very best in ourselves and others. So, I think that's enough for tonight. We'll sit for just a moment or two, and in these closing moments, please focus your minds on loving kindness. May you and all beings be well and happy. May you and all beings be free from all suffering. May you and all beings realize for yourselves the secure peace of Nibbana. Arahant Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivade Swagato Bhagavanta Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavanto Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. So thank you all very much for coming. Very good to see you all. I hope you have a good weekend and we'll meet again soon. Good night.